So this was actually surprising to me. It's the only reason I decided to make this video, because you guys already know I really like to do segments instead, on Saturdays with the stream and then put them up there. But sometimes there's just, I have a little extra time and I see a little bit of news on the feed, and it catches my attention. Now, granted, this is my friend's account, so I have to log in, to my actual PC. I have to actually sit by the desk, something I rarely do again. So again, it's even more difficult nowadays. But when I do casually kind of get interested, I stumble across some interesting stuff, such as this. The greatest commentary channel of all time, Nicholas Deorio. My God, what a great guy. Completely not morally bankrupt at all. Just he only tells it like it is. He's never ever lied to his audience or tried to deceive anybody in the public eye. Never. But yeah, he's the greatest ever, guys. Like, he is on top of his drama game at all times. Like, if you were a normal human being, a normie, if you will, you would think this guy is like a overweight wine mom that has nothing going for him, has no future accomplishments. He's peaked. This is about as good as he's going to get, and therefore that's why he sticks to petty internet drama. And he can't get out of the house that much, so, stamina be low. Alright, somebody get him the fucking Breath of the Wild fucking stamina bullshit, please. That little meter, the green meter is like half already, alright? Half full already, okay? But that being said, though, it's okay. It's good that Nicholas does this because he can keep me on top of all the irrelevant drama shit that I can't catch up with because I actually have a full 2 stamina wheels right now. We're trying to make it 3, okay? We're trying to max it out. But Nick Deorio here, I saw this as very interesting. Actually doesn't like legal mindset, apparently. Although, at the very least, it kind of looks like it. I mean, the implication is there. He's calling him a freak. Last time Deorio called someone a freak, he wasn't exactly on good terms with them. He made a collage of freaks, in fact, and while I agree with him, at the same time, it's like the negative implication is there. So let's not be dishonest. There's no real probable desirability here. Like, yeah, I mean, it's safe to presume that he doesn't like legal mindset. And legal mindset, what can you say about him? He is the Lolicon VTuber lawyer. He became the Lolicon VTuber lawyer, I think, amidst his little love affair with Nick Rick. It wasn't a triangle. There wasn't a third person. He wasn't into... Lady Racket's a little too old for legal mindset, I think. Based off of what presumably he likes from what we've seen from his YouTube, debacles. All right. He's into young, petite Asian women, I believe. He always tells people to go east, man. That was his shtick. He's like the passport bro, but he's more importantly, and you can't say this quiet truth out loud because it's bad optically and it makes legal mindset, it makes you question his professionalism as a lawyer and make you, let alone his human character. He is the 100% okay with VTubing lolicon lawyer. He befriends lolicons like an individual named Gator, who is about 30 plus years old, and watches some interesting VTubers that speak like children, and amongst other things. You can read all about that on Kiwi Farms. Just type up Kiwi Farms, Gator Gamer. That's Legal Mindset's friend. That is his close associate. Only one of many sus ones. Now, I've told you in this game, the YouTube game, morality doesn't really exist. Neither does principles. Legal Mindset perfectly embodies that. All this time being cool with Nick Rekieta in LawTube, even when Nick Rekieta was blatantly defaming Montegraph in front of him. You can also probably find that clip. Legal Mindset, Nick Rekieta, Montegraph. You should probably go look at that, and you'll see that's also based in fact. So he's a morally bankrupt individual, just like many other people, on the interweb. So you can't get success without becoming a little morally bankrupt, if not full on, But whatever. That's neither here nor there. He will pretend like he does. He is above it all. He's done a plethora of unmoral things besides the lolicon thing. But just generally, I guess to generalize it, he's done a lot of things that I can understand Deorio for disliking him for. Now, whether or not Deorio is actually going to name these things, probably not. He'll probably keep it nice and simple. I'll go ahead and name all the things that he's done. All the weird shit. From weird to just kind of morally fucked up. I mean, he was advocating for shock collars on individuals he didn't like, but he won't do that for lolicons, which, you know, I guess that would just divide his audience, and, you know, his bank account would suffer a little bit. So, again, whether or not Legal Mindset is actually into lolly, I mean, that's up in the air. You know, I'd like to think everybody that makes lolly into a brand like Reb and Nux is only in it for the money. But I guess you can only surround yourself with that for so long before you end up inevitably, you know. Okay. So that's Legal Mindset. That's an accurate description of Legal Mindset. His name isn't even Andrew Esquire. He lies about his name as well. So, you know, just not a shady guy at all. Just, you know, just a trustworthy guy that you should definitely trust. Anyway, that's Legal Mindset. He says this, to which Deorio goes ahead and he says, holy shit, Chad. I can't believe this freak flew back to camera to America. I don't know why I said camera just now, Chad. America. And someone put a gun in his hand, laughing my ass off. Holy shit, Chad. That's the Deorio streamer voice thing. That's how he sounds like. Yeah. Anyway, he says this about him. And I'm interested. So I want to read some of the comments. This comment already, I kind of scrolled past some of them. I saw this one in particular catch my interest. And she asked, why do you dislike him? Which I think is like, it is the question of the day. So let's go ahead and see. This is, he went too far east. That's like a joke because Andrew Esquire, not his real name, his entire thing was like, oh, go east, brother. That's where the hot women are. You've given up on America. Even though he wants to LARP around his, you know, pure patriotism, he's still telling you to go to Asia because Asia's better. So again, you know, just nothing inconsistent about this guy's character at all. He's just a stand-up guy. That's why he was friends with Nick Rekieta for so long and was his little lapdog. Just a genuine guy, guys. This person says there's a few reasons. There's the Go East stuff, the potential lolicon thing as well, the crash out recently where he deleted it. Oh, he deleted that. That's interesting. If you guys don't know what he deleted, that's Andrew Esquire, not his real name, by the way, a freaking lawyer, alleged lawyer, supposedly, who's so credible, was advocating for assaulting individuals. This kind of reminds me of like the time Nick Rekieta was giving bad legal advice live on air, like with Yellow Flash. Like, that's the level of professionalism you get from this guy. Again, it's just simple logic. This guy is not a professional. He's Nick Rekieta's drinking buddy. Again, like, he's just the successor to Nick Rekieta. He's Nick Rekieta minus the wife. You get rid of the wife and you put a bunch of lollies with this guy, and it's just Nick Rekieta anime edition. Right? Like, that's all it is. So apparently he deleted his Crash Out stream where he was talking about conspiracy theories. He was talking about how they're out to get him. He was talking, like, he was presumably, the Kiwi farmer said this guy was on meth, and I kind of agree. Like, he did look like he was on meth. So, again, now we got more Rekieta-isms here. That's probably another reason why he took it down. You know, he started seeing how people were realizing what I said was right. He is Rekieta's, you know, successor. Even Josh Moon said it. So, it's interesting. It was also a reminder of how he deleted the Go East Passport Bro stuff live. So he also deleted that. Basically, Legal Mindset is trying to delete anything that might expose him or point out the flaws in his character. Which, you know, that's not suspicious at all. That's not sus at all. That's a total trustworthy person. I mean, oy vey, Ethan Klein called him trustworthy, so definitely trustworthy. Okay, BB said so. The BB of YouTube. Can we get that going? Ethan Klein, the BB of YouTube. Okay, the Netanyahu of YouTube. There's a good few VODs on Nick's channel about him. So apparently Deorio has talked about this guy. Then we got, he's most likely a PDF file. So again, people that are outside of the circle, right, that are outside of the hug box, that is Legal Mindsets chat, because predominantly that's what it is. And like, you know, not even to put this all on Legal Mindset, it is mostly any big YouTubers chat. You can make the argument is a hug box. You know, they like to mask it under moderation, guys. You know, I'll give fucking Medicare this, at least. Medicare doesn't do that fucking weaselly slime ball shit. He just kind of lets the fucking chat go. But at this point, it's just because he has so much popularity. Even if there's, like, truth about him being said in the chat in a negative way, it gets drowned out. Legal Mindset can't handle that. Deorio can't even handle that. So, you know, they're not... Yeah, I'll give the... maybe cancer patient, my old hero, Mr. Medicare, that, okay? I'll give him that. But that is not Andrew Esquire. So in the hug box, Andrew Esquire, not his real name, is like a completely credible, non-lazy-eyed, not morally bankrupt, not manipulative individual. He's just a cool guy, guys. There's nothing suspicious about him at all. Like, at all. But there is quite a bit, isn't there, Andrew? Not your real name, by the way. So, anyway, interesting. Like, I can't say I disagree. You know? Can't say I disagree with Deorio's take. He will make women hot again by force. Yeah, he was also advocating for this. That was part of his weird crash out stream where he was, like, again, presumably on meth. He was saying how he needs to make all women hot. Yeah, that's hot. Every conservative woman looks like Sydney Sweeney, not Bruce Blanche. It's like, bro, this narrative propaganda shit is, like, amazing. Like, I thought only the left did this shit, but the right has just amped it up. They're trying to pretend, like, if you're a conservative bitch, you look like Sydney Sweeney. That's the angle we're going with? I mean, sex sells, right? Right? That's why you were getting the hot bitches on TikTok to dance around like Trump and shit. You know, get horny ass motherfuckers like me and shit and be like, ooh, you vote for Donald Trump. You get hot, you know, hot blonde bitch. You know, that's pretty much what everybody was thinking, the mindset there. You know, guys predominantly think with their penises. So, you know, there's that. But what can I say? Then he says, didn't do hang out with Destiny a few weeks before Firefighter tweets? I think he was trying to say, didn't you hang out with Destiny a few weeks before the Firefighter tweets? So this guy, presumably an anime fan, so a legal mindset defender, you know, basically throwing shade at Nikki, you know, deflecting from the valid criticism, I feel like, of this guy onto Nick. Which, to be fair, that's kind of valid as well in its own right. You know, he did hang out with Destiny after Destiny said that thing about the firefighter, you know, which is, you know, completely immoral shit that Bo Blacks never even did. So I don't know why Nick was... I say I don't know as a rhetorical. You already know I know. You probably know if you're smart enough. We already know Nikki D... This is, by the way, just so you guys have context, this was before Destiny fell off. So it was still cool to associate with a piece of shit like Destiny that violated every principle Deorio and Turkey Tom allegedly had. But it's okay, because luckily their audience is full of stupid people, so they don't either... It's delusion or stupidity. They either don't question it, or they're just like, yes, that happened, but like, wait, let me rewire my brain so it didn't. That's literally it. Which, you know what? I'm not even going to knock anymore. Used to frustrate me, but at this point, it is what it is, you know? And I think Nick has earned it, all right? It's okay, Nick. No white woman want to go near him. Terrifying, honestly. I'm pretty sure he's already cooked out of his mind there. See, this is the referencing of the Matt stream Legal Mindset had. Unlike Ricada, though, he actually took it down relatively fast, so that's good. Now, you do realize he's a Florida man, and I don't. Why the hell are you hitting him? Wait, what? He's he's giving out legal advice. He's a lawyer. This is literally the defense people had for Nick Rekieta. This is just, I would be surprised if this guy monkey branched from Nick Rekieta. Like this specific comment, monkey branch from Nick Rekieta to this guy, because that's like the primitive mindset of most people. LOL pun. They monkey branched from Nick Rekieta, but they needed an internet law daddy, that had enough charisma, that wasn't like overweight, like, LawTube Sean, God bless his soul, or old and decrepit, like Uncivil Law, which, God bless his soul again. I don't really have beef with you guys. I'm just kind of saying what you guys are in the perception of these people. Otherwise, you would have raked in, what Legal Mindset has, essentially. Legal Mindset was the next best successor, because even though I'm criticizing this guy authentically, and many of you can see his flaws as well, overall, he does have, and it would make sense too, he does have the charisma, or at least a fraction of the charisma Nick Rekieta did have. And again, it makes sense if you really take into account how far up Nick Rekieta's ass Legal Mindset's fucking lazy eye was. It makes so much sense that he would be as good as Nick, if not a little optically better, because he handles, aside from that one meth stream that Andrew Esquire, not his real name, had, relatively handles himself a little more properly than Nick. My only advice is that Andrew Esquire, not your real name, maybe cut down on the drugs. You already saw what it did to Nick. I know you don't have any kids. You never will, thankfully. You don't have a wife. You just go east, brother. I am very patriotic. I am very patriot, but I tell you, go east with the Chinese and the Asians and the Koreans, and the Taiwanese, because, Asia can sit there. That's not sus at all, right? Legal Mindset. All right, brother. You keep doing your weird shit. I'm sure people will praise you for it, not call you a creep until you have your fall off. This is case in point what always happens. Like Nick Rekieta, for example, I've told LawTube this before. They never have a refute for it. Look at any clip that involves Nick Rekieta. Tell me you've never seen it. Tell me you've never seen him be an unprofessional fucking lawyer. Unprofessional, just pilled out, alcoholic piece of shit. You guys specifically waited for a particular moment in order to capitalize on looking like the good guys, and while drowning Nick Rekieta out as the bad guy, which I have nothing against, by the way. That's great strategy, and, couldn't have happened to a nicer guy, but it just sucks that you guys get to deflect all the bullshittery that you guys did for a pretty penny and some clout in order to just disregard the truth about Nick. And now, the cycle will continue. People will disregard all the creepy shit about Legal Mindset Andrew Esquire until he really crashes out and really fucks up. So that would be like the Mets stream he had times 100, or at least more consecutively, more consistently. And then they'll start calling him what a lot of people that are infatuated with internet celebrities are already thinking and calling him.